Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. When a man truly misses you, when you are really on his mind, he's not always going to come out with the poetry, the flowers, the big announcements. No. Sometimes the most powerful way a man shows it is in silence. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say actions speak louder than words, I mean this is the foundation of every real relationship. People can tell you anything. A man can walk into your life with the sweetest words, the smoothest talk, the promises that sound like they came straight out of a movie. But here's the reality. Words don't cost a thing. It doesn't take effort to say, I miss you, or I love you. The real test is what a man does when those feelings hit him. Because if a man truly misses you, you don't have to sit around wondering. His actions will let you know before his mouth ever does. When a man is thinking about you, he'll make time. That's the first sign. Because time is the most valuable thing we've got. If a man takes time out of his day to check on you, to show up for you, or to make sure you're good, that's louder than any "I miss you" text. Think about it. He could be tired from work. He could have a million things on his plate. But if you cross his mind and he acts on it, that's real. A man who misses you isn't going to disappear. He's going to create opportunities, even small ones, to remind you that you matter. Now let me make this plain. Words without actions are empty. Anybody can say, I'll call you later. But if that phone never rings, those words mean nothing. If a man tells you, I'm thinking about you, but he never shows up, never invests his time, never puts energy into making sure you feel his presence, then those words are just noise. But when a man really means it, when he's really missing you, you'll see it. You'll see it in how he adjusts his schedule. You'll see it in how he pays attention to the little details about you. You'll see it in how he goes out of his way to make sure you're smiling, even if it's just for a moment. See, love doesn't live in lip service. It lives in action. If a man misses you, he's going to do something about it. He won't just let the thought pass by. He'll send that good morning text before you even open your eyes. He'll check if you ate lunch because in his mind, your well-being is tied to his peace. He'll make that late night call, not because he's got something important to say, but because hearing your voice settles him. Those are the actions that speak far louder than words ever could. Think about the people in your life who truly care about you. You don't measure their love by what they say in the moment. You measure it by what they do over time. If someone consistently shows up for you, supports you, and makes you feel valued, then you know their feelings are real. In relationships, it's no different. If a man misses you, the consistency of his actions will paint a picture that no amount of words could ever capture. A man's actions when he misses you will often be subtle, but powerful. It might be him driving across town just to spend a few minutes with you. It might be him remembering something you casually mentioned and surprising you with it later. It might be him taking care of small things you didn't even realize you needed help with. These aren't grand, dramatic gestures, but they're the kind of actions that reveal what's in his heart. They show he's paying attention, that you're on his mind, and that he values your presence in his life. Sometimes, ladies, a man won't even know how to put what he's feeling into words, but his actions will tell you everything. He'll lean into making life easier for you. He'll protect your peace. He'll prioritize your happiness. When he misses you, he'll carve out space in his world for you to fit without you having to beg for it. That's the difference between words and actions. Words can make promises, but actions prove them. It's easy to get caught up in what people say. We live in a world where words are everywhere. Text, posts, captions, promises. But actions will always cut through the noise. When a man misses you, you don't have to chase validation. You don't have to sit around asking, do you even care? His actions will already be answering that question every single day. And here's the truth: a man can only fake words. He can't fake consistent actions over time. If he really misses you, you'll feel it in the way he treats you. If he doesn't, you'll feel that too. So don't fall for the smooth talk if it's not backed by effort. Look at what he does when you're not around. Look at how he shows up when you least expect it. And look at whether his behavior matches the words he speaks. Because when it comes to love, actions don't just speak louder than words, they are the words. Ladies and gentlemen, presence is the proof of care. A person can claim they love you. They can say they miss you. They can talk about how important you are. But the real question is, are they present? Because when somebody truly cares about you, they're not just around when it's convenient. They're not just there when they feel like it. They make their presence felt in your life. and that presence becomes undeniable evidence of how much you mean to them. Presence is not always about being physically in the same room. Sometimes it's about emotional presence, the kind that lets you know you are not alone. If a man misses you, his presence will be seen in the way he makes himself available to you. Even in a busy world, even with responsibilities, even with challenges pulling him in different directions, he finds ways to show up for you. That is not an accident. That is not coincidence. That is proof. You matter to him enough for him to be there. When someone is truly present, you can feel it. It's in the way they listen. It's in the way they pay attention to what you say, what you don't say, what you need, and even what you didn't realize you needed. Presence is about connection. If a man misses you, he doesn't just disappear into silence. He looks for ways to connect. He checks in. He asks about your day. He remembers things that matter to you. That's presence. He doesn't just occupy space. He invests himself in your world. Think about the difference between someone who says, "I miss you," and someone who actually rearranges his time to come see you, even if it's just for a few minutes. That right there is proof. That presence carries weight because it costs him something. It costs time, effort, energy, intention. Anybody can send a quick text, but showing up, carving out a place in your life, making you feel seen and valued, that's what proves care. Presence is not passive, it's active. It takes thought, it takes commitment, and it takes heart. A man who misses you will not only be present physically when he will also be present mentally and emotionally. When you talk to him, he will actually hear you. He will not just nod his head while distracted. He will give you his focus because your voice, your feelings, and your presence matter to him. Presence is not about the number of hours spent. It's about the quality of those moments. You can spend a whole day with somebody who is distracted and distant and feel lonely. But you can spend 30 minutes with someone who is fully present and feel like you were the only person in the world that mattered. That's the power of presence. When a man truly misses you, he doesn't let distance weaken the bond. His presence will still be there, whether he's across the city, across the country, or across the world. He'll make that call. He'll send that message. He'll find little ways to remind you that you are on his mind. He may not always be able to show up in person, but his presence will still be felt because care does not depend on proximity. It depends on intention. Presence also shows itself in consistency. When someone cares, they don't just show up once and disappear for weeks. They find ways to be a steady part of your life. Consistency is what builds trust, and trust is what allows love to grow. If a man misses you, his presence will not come in bursts and vanish. It will be steady, reliable, and comforting. He won't leave you questioning where you stand. You will feel his presence because it will show up like a rhythm, not just a random moment. Presence also speaks in silence. Sometimes it's not about words. It's not about long conversations. It's about simply being there. It's about a hand on your shoulder when you need support. It's about sitting next to you when you don't feel like talking. It's about his presence filling the room, reminding you that you are not alone. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to chase it, because when someone cares, their presence becomes a natural part of your life. And let's be clear, absence tells a story too. If someone constantly claims to care, but never shows up, never makes time, never proves it through presence, then the words start to mean less and less. People make time for what matters. People show up for who matters. If he truly misses you, his presence will reflect that, because missing someone is not a passive feeling. It creates a pull, a desire to bridge the gap, a need to connect. That need reveals itself through action, and those actions create presence. Presence is not about grand gestures or dramatic surprises. It's about the small, consistent ways someone shows you that you are important to them. It might be him remembering how you like your coffee. It might be him calling just to hear your voice. It might be him staying up late to talk because that's the only time you're free. It might be him driving through traffic just to spend a little time with you. None of these things may seem huge on their own, but together they create the undeniable proof that he cares. So when a man misses you, look at his presence. Does he show up? Does he find ways to remind you that you matter? Does he make space in his life for you? Because presence is not just a feeling, it's a demonstration. It is love and care taking form in real time. And when you feel it, when you see it, you won't have to question whether he misses you. You'll already know, because his presence will say it louder than any words ever could. Ladies and gentlemen, silence can still show love. See, we often grow up thinking that love is supposed to be loud. We expect big declarations, long speeches, and constant reassurance. We expect people to always say how much they care. But the truth is, love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it speaks without a single word. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that silence, when it comes from the right place, carries more weight than noise ever could. When a man misses you, he might not always have the right words. He might not know how to put his emotions into long texts or sweet phrases. But you'll notice it in the quiet things he does. He lingers a little longer when you're together because he doesn't want to let that moment go. He holds your hand without saying anything because that connection says more than words ever could. He looks at you and doesn't need to speak because in that silence you can feel how much you mean to him. Silence is not always emptiness. Silence can be full. It can be full of care, full of presence, full of meaning. Sometimes the way a man misses you is by being around you without trying to fill the air with talk. He might just want to sit near you, watch you, share space with you. That silence is not distance, it's comfort. It's the kind of quiet that only comes when someone values you deeply and doesn't feel the need to prove it with constant words. When a man truly misses you, you'll see it in the way he shows up without having to say much. He might cook for you. He might fix something for you. He might sit in your world just to make it easier. None of those things require speeches, but every one of them is a silent declaration of love. Silence in these moments is action speaking. It's love choosing to reveal itself in what he does instead of what he says. There are men who don't always know how to express themselves with words, but their silence isn't neglect. It's their way of showing love through energy, through presence, through care. He may not tell you every day that he misses you, but he'll drive across town just to spend 30 minutes with you. He may not post about you online, but he'll sit with you in your hardest moment and not leave. That silence, that steady presence is often more powerful than 1,000 words could ever be. Silence also shows love in the way it allows peace. When someone misses you, they don't always need to call and talk for hours to prove it. Sometimes it's a short message that says, just thinking of you. Sometimes it's staying on the phone without talking because the comfort of your presence, even without words, is enough. That kind of silence shows love because it proves connection without needing to perform. And let's talk about the silence of effort. A man may not always announce what he's doing for you. He might not say, I miss you, so I came here, or I care, so I did this. He may just do it. He'll solve a problem, take care of something, or show up when you need him most without calling attention to it. That's silent love. That's love that doesn't brag, it just acts. And those silent gestures often mean more than words that don't match reality. Silence can even show love and restraint. A man who misses you may not want to overwhelm you with calls or messages, but he will still be consistent. He will give you space when you need it without vanishing. He will be quiet when words aren't necessary, but present when you need comfort. That balance of silence and presence shows maturity in love. It says, I miss you, but I respect you. I care about you, but I won't smother you. That's love speaking quietly but clearly. Sometimes silence is about listening. If a man misses you, he might not fill the air with his own thoughts, but he'll let you speak. He'll let you share your world, your worries, your dreams. And in his quietness, he's showing love by giving you space to be heard. That kind of silence proves he values you because he doesn't just want to speak, he wants to understand. There's also the silence of presence and absence. When you're apart, his silence doesn't mean he's forgotten you. It means he's holding you in his thoughts. It shows in the way he makes time to reconnect later, the way he keeps little things about you in mind, the way he returns and picks up right where you left off. That kind of silence is not neglect. It's love working quietly in the background without fanfare. So silence, when it comes from a man who truly misses you, is not a lack of love. It is love in a different form. It's love that doesn't always need to be spoken because it's already being lived out in the way he looks at you, in the way he shows up, in the way he holds on just a little longer. Sometimes silence is the purest, clearest way of saying, I miss you, I need you, I love you, without ever opening the mouth to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, consistency reveals true feelings. Anybody can show up once. Anybody can make a big gesture one time. Anybody can say the right words for a moment. But love, care, and real intention are not proven in a single act. They're proven in the pattern. They're revealed in whether a man keeps showing up, whether his actions match his words day after day, whether his behavior holds steady over time. Consistency is the language of truth, And if a man truly misses you, it won't just be something he shows once. You will see it in the rhythm of how he treats you. Consistency matters because people can fake almost anything for a short while. A man can charm you with flowers, with dates, with promises, but if all that fades quickly, then it was never real in the first place. Real feelings don't fade with convenience. When a man genuinely misses you, he'll keep finding ways to let you know. He won't vanish after the first few weeks. He won't go silent for long stretches and then suddenly appear with excuses. No, consistency means you don't have to wonder where you stand because his actions keep proving it over and over again. When a man is consistent, you don't have to chase him for attention. He gives it freely, regularly, naturally. His effort doesn't come only when he feels guilty or when he wants something. It comes because you matter to him. That's how missing you shows up. It's not just in one late night text saying, "I miss you." It's in the constant communication, the check-ins, the thoughtfulness, the way he keeps a place for you in his daily life. That regularity tells you more about his feelings than any speech could. Consistency also builds trust, and trust is the backbone of any relationship. When a man is consistent in the way he misses you, in the way he cares for you, he creates security. You know he's not just acting on impulse. You know it's not just a passing mood. You start to trust that his words mean something because his actions keep lining up with them. And trust doesn't come from one grand moment. It comes from many small, steady ones. Think about how it feels when someone is inconsistent. One day they're warm, the next day they're cold. One day they're all over you, the next they're nowhere to be found. That inconsistency creates doubt, confusion, and anxiety. But when someone is consistent, you don't live in that uncertainty. You don't have to guess if he misses you. You already know because his behavior keeps showing it. That's what separates true care from temporary interest. A man who misses you consistently will always find ways to show it, even if life gets busy. He doesn't just disappear into excuses. He might not always have hours to give, but he will give something. A quick message, a short call, a gesture to remind you that you're still in his mind. That's what consistency looks like. It's not about perfection. It's about effort that doesn't stop. It's about showing up in different ways, but always showing up. Consistency is also about reliability. When a man misses you and he's consistent, you can rely on him to check in, to care, to be there. You don't sit around wondering if he's going to vanish. You don't feel like his love is conditional or temporary. Instead, you feel a steady presence, a steady commitment, a steady rhythm that reassures you every single time. That's how true feelings are revealed, not in a burst of romance, but in the ongoing, repeated pattern of love in action. Consistency also reveals character. Anybody can pretend for a moment, but consistency demands honesty. If a man doesn't really miss you, he won't be able to keep showing up for long. If his intentions aren't real, he won't keep proving them over time. But if his feelings are genuine, his consistency will expose that truth. His pattern of actions will line up with his words, and over time, you'll see that his care isn't a performance, it's who he is. Sometimes consistency shows itself in the little things. The way he remembers to text you good morning. The way he always asks about how your day went. The way he checks on you when you're stressed. These might not feel dramatic, but they build up into a clear picture of his heart. Because anybody can do something grand once, but the little consistent efforts are what prove his feelings. They prove that he doesn't just miss you occasionally. He misses you always, and he shows it in the rhythm of everyday life. So when a man misses you, don't just listen to what he says once. Don't just look at one big gesture. Look at the consistency. Look at whether his actions match his words every time. Look at whether his presence is steady. Because real love, real care, real missing someone isn't about one shining moment. It's about repetition. It's about reliability. It's about a pattern of effort that never fades, no matter what else is happening in life. That's how consistency reveals true feelings.